Hey there everybody, Manly Starman here. Welcome to part 23 of my Hunger Games series, the penultimate episode, where we'll be looking at everyone who was the first to be eliminated in each of their games leading up to this point. I won't bother going over everyone again here and what episodes they came from, mainly due to laziness and because I plan on doing that for the finale episode anyway, but two quick mentions of things just in case someone forgot. In District 9, Corrin has the image of both the male and female variants because it can be whichever one you prefer it to be. Their gender is specifically listed as non-binary because of that. Same for over here in District 10 with all four hero designs from Smash Ultimate. It's whichever one you prefer. As for my predictions, I'm once again going to be going with a character that I did hope would do well the last time he appeared, but unfortunately, he's in this episode, so he was the first one to go out, and that's Roxas over here in District 4 from the Kingdom Hearts episode, as Roxas is one of, if not my favorite character from Kingdom Hearts. As for a second pick, Gamzee over here in District 1, all the way from the very first episode. Mainly to rep my love of Homestuck, and also I myself am a Capricorn, so Gamzee's kind of my patron troll. Although, for all my older Homestucks in the audience, if you remember that little calculator quiz thing that you could do to find out what your actual patron would be, because it's not actually based on your birth sign, mine was actually Cardcat, so honestly, I feel pretty good about both that I got. With that all out of the way, though, let us proceed to the bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Each of them, I figure, eager for a second chance at redemption in this game. Goku runs, Justin runs, Roxas takes a spear, Mina runs, Elidibus retrieves a trident, don't know how to pronounce that name, still haven't bothered to look it up since between this episode and the Final Fantasy episode. Gamzee rips a mace out of Mike's hands, Glenn runs, Chespin runs, Rapunzel runs. By the way, I didn't notice this until I was making the roster for this episode, but in the Disney Princess episode, I actually spelled her name wrong. I wrote it R-E-P, and I only got one comment on that video, but I'm surprised no one noticed that I misspelled Rapunzel wrong. Anyway, Hinako and Toy Freddy fight for a bag. Toy Freddy gives up and retreats. Exdeath stabs Scrooge in the back with a trident. Although I guess if you are looking for the ultimate loser through this entire season of games, yeah, I think that officially makes it, unfortunately, Scrooge McDuck. All the money in the world and he still couldn't get past being the first to die. Ken and Corrin fight for a bag. Corrin gives up and retreats. Alphys runs. Kyoko scares Sonic away from the cornucopia. Latios runs, as the Eon Pokemon are known to do. Teddy finds a canteen full of water. And Hero runs. Only one death in the opening. Day 1. Glenn sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Teddy is doing the same. Rapunzel practices her archery. Hinako constructs a shack. Hero does the same. Latios receives an explosive because she herself cannot learn explosion. Mina searches for a water source. I guess her plan is to hide out underwater as she is a sea dweller. Exdeath also sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Mike diverts Corrin's attention and runs. Kyoko begs for Toy Freddy to heal her. He refuses, keeping Kyoko alive. Chespin is ironically pricked by thorns while picking berries. What a failure of a grass type, but I guess failure is an apt term considering this is where they are now. Roxas and Goku hunt for other tributes. Alphys makes a wooden spear. Elidibus stalks Gamzee. Sonic, also for the 4th time, sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. What smoke are all these people seeing? Ken collects fruit from a tree. Is it Ken's fire? Is that what they all see? And Justin makes a slingshot. Only one cannon shot. Night 1. Alphys destroys Justin's supplies while he is asleep. Oh, he just made that slingshot. Mina passes out from exhaustion. I guess she never found the water source. Corrin receives clean water. Goku screams for help. I guess that could actually work in content, because, theoretically, he could be calling out to King Guy, but, he can't do anything about this. Roxas is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Teddy dies from an infection. Hinako loses sight of where she is. Chespin starts fire. So, the grass type can start a fire, but it still gets pricked by thorns while trying to pick berries. Okay, game. Exdeath and Mike tell stories about themselves to each other. What a combo conversation that must be to witness. Elidibus receives an explosive. Toy Freddy, Rapunzel, Sonic, and Ken track down and kill Fuecoco. Gamzee receives a hatchet, so he has now both a mace and a hatchet. Latias tends to Hero's Wounds. Yeah, that seems about right for Latias. And Glenn attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Day 2. Alphys stalks Roxas. Chespin sprains their ankle while running away from Mina. Rapunzel attacks Hinako, but she manages to escape. Hero kills Justin with his own weapon, so I guess when Alphys burned his supplies, he did keep the slingshot, but they returned fire on him. Corin dies from hunger. Well, they're starting to drop like flies now. Glenn is pricked by thorns while picking berries. But see, that makes sense though, unlike Chespin, because Glenn's a big buff dude. He wouldn't have much wiggle room in there. Exdeath camouflages herself in the bushes. Gamzee stalks Latias. Mike sprains his ankle while running away from Elidibus. Goku injures himself. Toy Freddy tries to spearfish with a trident. Careful near that water, Freddy. Sonic receives medical supplies. And Ken continues to collect fruit from a tree. 4 cannon shots. Night 2. Toy Freddy tries to treat his infection. I don't know what infection the animatronics can get. Maybe glitch traps are trying to get into Toy Freddy. Goku thinks about home. Rapunzel receives clean water. Roxas, Chespin, and Hinako sleep in shifts. Hero cooks their food before putting their fire out. Sonic loses sight of where he is. Exdeath thinks about winning. Glenn, Latias, and Gamzee start fighting, but Latias runs away as Glenn kills Gamzee. Rip my first pick. Ken thinks about home. Mina convinces Elidibus to snuggle with her. Mike sets up camp for the night. And Alphys goes to sleep. Day 3. Pretty nice and steady game so far. I'm happy about that. I'd hate for this and the last episode to be really short. If anything, them being longer is just fine by me. Hero receives a hatchet. Chespin tries to spearfish with a trident. Hinako fishes. Exdeath, Mina, Toy Freddy, Latias, and Ken hunt for other tributes. Glenn thinks about home. Roxas thinks about home. Sonic practices his archery. Elidibus attacks Goku, but he manages to escape. Mike thinks about home. And Alphys runs away from Rapunzel. Only 1 cannon shot. Night 3. Latias is awoken by nightmares. Ken tries to treat his infection. Exdeath, Rapunzel, Mike, Glenn, and Roxas sleep in shifts. Chespin starts a fire. Goku loses sight of where he is. Elidibus starts a fire. Sonic questions his sanity. Toy Freddy cries himself to sleep. Mina, Hinako, and Alphys cheerfully sing songs together. And Hero accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Day 4. Exdeath begs for Rapunzel to kill her. She refuses, keeping Exdeath alive. Mike convinces Toy Freddy to not kill him, only to kill him instead. Roxas and Ken split up to search for resources. Mina tries to sleep through the entire day. Elidibus defeats Hinako in a fight, but spares her life. Alphys tends to Latias' wounds. Chespin, Glenn, and Sonic hunt for other tributes. And Goku dies from hypothermia. 3 cannon shots. Night 4. Glenn cries himself to sleep. Chespin and Exdeath sleep in shifts. Mina receives a hatchet. Elidibus begs for Latias to kill him. She refuses, keeping Elidibus alive. Mike tries to treat his infection. So many infections in this game. Ken, Hinako, and Rapunzel cheerfully sing songs together. Alphys loses sight of where she is. Whether that means she's lost or she lost her glasses, we'll never know. Again, Sonic tries to treat his infection. What did they do to the arena for this time around? And Roxas stays awake all night. Day 5. Elidibus discovers a cave. Roxas runs from Mike. Sonic questions his sanity. Rapunzel steals from Latias while she isn't looking. Exdeath fishes. Chespin stalks Glenn. Hinako constructs a shack. Alphys tries to spearfish with a trident, which she probably learned from Undyne. Which would be kind of messed up because when you realize that Undyne herself is a fish. And Mina and Ken work together for the day. No cannon shots. Night 5. Alphys destroys Ken's supplies while he is asleep. Latias sends Elidibus, Mike, and Mina away from her fire. Chespin convinces Exdeath to snuggle with them. Rapunzel cries herself to sleep. Sonic and Glenn tell stories about themselves to each other. And Roxas lets Hinako into his shelter. Day 6. Roxas sprains his ankle while running away from Rapunzel. Glenn, Elidibus, Ken, Sonic, and Mina hunt for other tributes. Hinako discovers a cave. Chespin receives fresh food. Alphys shoots an arrow at Mike, but misses and kills Exdeath. Latias sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Only one cannon shot at the end there. Night 6. Glenn sets up camp for the night. Mina and Hinako tell stories about themselves to each other. Alphys, Chespin, and Roxas cheerfully sing songs together. Elidibus cries himself to sleep. Rapunzel cooks her food before putting her fire out. Ken goes to sleep. Mike thinks about winning. Latias receives clean water. And Sonic dies of dysentery. Day 7. Roxas constructs a shack. Glenn overhears Chespin and Latias talking in the distance. The Pokemon are conspiring with each other. Hinako defeats Mike in a fight, but spares his life. Rapunzel, Ken, Elidibus, and Mina hunt for other tributes. And Alphys dies trying to escape the arena. 2 cannon shots. Man, all these deaths have been happening right at the end of the sequence for the day or night. Night 7. Hinako begs for Elidibus to kill her. He refuses, keeping Hinako alive. Glenn cooks his food before putting his fire out. Mike is awoken by nightmares, hopefully not of Mal. Roxas catches Latias off guard and kills her. Ken and Rapunzel huddle for warmth. Chespin quietly hums, and Mina goes to sleep. An event, the feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Roxas doesn't go. Elidibus and Mike fight Hinako and Ken. Hinako and Ken survive. Glenn tracks down and kills Chespin. And Mina pushes Rapunzel off a cliff during a knife fight. Day 8, and we're down to the final 5. Only one of them will be able to make it to the finale. Let's see who it is. Day 8. Ken defeats Roxas in a fight, but spares his life. Glenn runs away from Mina. And Hinako tries to sleep through the entire day. 5 cannon shots. Night 8. Mina goes to sleep. Glenn, Roxas, and Ken get into a fight. Roxas triumphantly kills them both. This could be the time for my pick, and ironically it's when he's labeled the biggest loser for this part. And Hinako screams for help. Final 3. Day 9. Mina kills Hinako with a sickle, and Roxas discovers a cave. Oh my god, is it finally happened? 3 cannon shots? Did I finally predict a winner? Night 9. Mina severely slices Roxas with a sword. Never mind. Forget all that. Congratulations to Mina. Oh well, Roxas got pretty far with 3 kills at least. Alrighty then, Mina will be joining the others in the finale. Now, some of you may have noticed, this is part 23, right? But that means we'll be going into the finale with an odd number of contestants, doesn't it? Well, not quite. I'm gonna have a special addition to that episode to keep things even. Again, thank you all so much for watching this series. It's honestly been a lot of fun, even when I had to go on that mini break I had. I'm really excited to see who's going to be the ultimate winner of this season. Feel free to place your own bets in the comments section below. I'll see you all next time for the finale. See you guys then.